Hello
Hello,
there. Hey.
how are you?
Hello. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent. Excellent. It says your name is Jefferson. Is that right?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, nice to meet you, Jefferson. My name's Kevin, and I'm originally from England in the UK, but I live here now in New Zealand. What about yourself? Whereabouts in the world are you?
I have some problem with my camera. I don't know if you can see me well.
I can see you all right. Yeah, sometimes if the connection is not very good, what the Cambly system will automatically do, it'll switch your camera off to try and improve the sound quality and the stability of the connection. So if you see your camera going on and off, it just means that the connection between you and me somewhere is not very good, and it'll keep trying to recover it so that you get you get a proper recorded session.
Yeah,
Um,
when I see me here, I see some delay. I do something here, and
mm,
then it appear in the image. But
right.
I'm from Brazil. I'm 20
Okay.
years old,
Hmm.
and I study economics at college
Hmm.
and work at a bank.
All right. Okay. Work at a bank and very good. All right. And you've been on Cambly for quite a while. I mean, back in September 2021, it says.
Yes.
So that's really good. So tell me, what's your current focus for your English language learning?
Well, I just to keep in touch with the language, to keep a
Hmm.
conversation with people for abroad, because I have never been abroad, so I have to keep this in touch, and I just do it for pleasure. But I think I need to do a proficient test because sometimes I'll be required to attest my qualifications on the language.
Mm.
And I have been doing some classes on IELTS with another
Mm.
teacher from Australia. And now
Hmm.
I want to start the TOEFL because I think I have to do the two, both
Mm.
TOEFL and IELTS. Of
Mm.
course, I have to study more than just do the class here to be prepared for the test because it's no easy at all. But
Mm.
as this is the purpose for now to
Okay.
study for qualify.
Okay. Okay. Why do you feel that you need to do both the TOEFL and the IELTS? Because both of them are accepted as a measurement of your English language proficiency. That is what these tests are. They're a language proficiency test. And if you get a score of, let's say, 6.5 in IELTS, you can convert that to a TOEFL score, and you can convert a TOEFL score back into an IELTS score. So they both work together, sort of thing. The reason that there are these two tests is the IELTS test is probably the most accepted test around the world, and then the TOEFL test is more accepted around like the Americas and some other places as well. Most universities, like if you were going to study overseas, most universities will accept both. Some in the Americas will prefer TOEFL over IELTS. The rest of the world seems to prefer IELTS over TOEFL, but they would accept a TOEFL score, they would accept an IELTS score, and there's some other language tests as well that they're also accepting. So if that was a thing, so there's nothing wrong with studying for both of them. But at the end of the day, the job of both these exams is to test your English language proficiency in that moment. And the method of doing it is they measure your reading, your listening, your writing, and your speaking skills. So, as I said, if you let me just bring up the list here. I was two, three, four, and this is pretty accurate. Um, if you were to score, let's say, a 7.5 in an IELTS test, when you do the TOEFL test, you should score somewhere between 102 to 109 out of 120. Okay, that should be what you're expecting to score. All right.
Yeah.
So as I say, they're quite interchangeable in their scoring. All right. The tests are obviously a little bit different. The questions are a little bit different. One of the things with the TOEFL test is you're in front of the computer the entire time. Whereas
Yeah.
test, when you get to the speaking part, obviously you're talking to a person, which is a little bit more natural, right? Instead of just a question up on the screen, read through 15 seconds, 45-second response, right? Which is, even, I'll be honest, even for a native speaker, it's a little bit strange, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit strange.
But the IELTS tends to be more difficult to do than TOEFL.
Um, hmm. My personal opinion is IELTS is easier than TOEFL, okay? But it also depends on the person themselves, right?
Yeah.
It depends. Like if you've been very academic, you may find that the TOEFL test is easier. Okay, so if your English in the academic English is really good, then probably the TOEFL is the better one. But if you've got a little bit more of a generalized English, you know, some academic, some business, maybe some extra English from other sources, movies, series, reading, all of these sorts of things, then the IELTS test is probably going to bring out your best score. So yeah, it's really down to the person. Mm. There's also, to be honest, I think there's more resources available for IELTS than there is for TOEFL, which is a reflection of it being, you know, the most accepted exam around the world. So,
Yes.
you know, yeah, yeah. And I teach both. Because at the end of the day, they are just language proficiency tests. I can teach TOEFL, I can teach IELTS. But there are more resources available for IELTS. Probably about 70% of my week, 5 to 6 days a week, is IELTS. And then I've got probably, at the moment, I think I've got about 4 TOEFL students as opposed to about 15 or 16 IELTS students. So that's where I get my sort of 70%-ish from.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, it all does come down to personal preference, really. All to personal preference. Mm. What do you want to do with these qualifications? Like, you get an English level qualification, what's your plan?
That's the big question. Actually, firstly, I want to do an exchange program to study English abroad. Sometimes
Nice.
they might require this in the future. Maybe do some master's degree or doctorate abroad. So that's when I have the doubts about it, because for exchange
Mm,
program they have problem to accept the TOEFL. But if I choose for certain to do the master's degree or something like that, or maybe live abroad, work or something like that, maybe
mm,
the IELTS would be more required.
mm, 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 mm. What sort of time frame are you thinking? Like, is this something that you plan to do this year, or is it next year, or?
Maybe an exchange program in short time
Mm, mm.
to
Okay.
England or
So
Canada.
yeah, so if your short-term plan is an exchange program, you look at, basically, you know, you the way you make your decision is you look at what you can do, like what you're planning to do first, regardless of doing something in the future. And if you say, okay, well, I'm going to do an exchange program, that one there prefers TOEFL, and they want a score of, let's say, I don't know, 80, around that 80 out of 120, which relates to around, it's about 6, I think. 8, yeah, it's sort of between a 6, 6.5 on an IELTS score. If that's your requirement, then that's what you work to. You get your piece of paper, you send it to your exchange program, you do that, and you see if you enjoy it. And if you do, obviously, as you go to an English-speaking country, suddenly there's another big learning curve that you go through, because you're in the language now. every day, and that is a huge benefit because it really increases your English level quite quickly. So,
Yeah.
an exchange program would be great. And then later, if you then need to get a higher score, let's say you need to get I don't know, 110 out of 120 in a TOEFL, you're going to find it a lot easier because you've done it before, you've immersed yourself in the language, you've learned a lot about the language and some of the quirks of what native speakers do. You've picked up on those quirks and you can use them yourself in an exam. Great, that's going to increase your score. And that'll get you the score then that you need to be able to then go and do a master's if that's what you choose to do. So
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good plan. Go and
That's,
immerse yourself in English.
yeah.
Mm,
Yes. You start with TOEFL, then try to the
mm.
IELTS.
Yeah,
It's a good
yeah, you can
one.
do the IELTS later. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Whatever works, put the exams aside. It's whatever works for what you plan to do. So if it's the exchange program and they need TOEFL, that's your focus. If it's something else and that's IELTS, that's your focus, right? So yeah, it's just a case of meeting the requirements that you can go and do the things you want to do. That's what it's about. Mm.
Yeah, I'm studying both at the same time because sometimes it's the almost the same thing. You have to know
Mm.
about the vocabulary and how to
Mm.
write and how to read
Mm.
and something like that. But
Mm. Mm.
the time of doing the test, maybe the
Mm.
TOEFL is the priority.
Mm. 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 Okay. Okay. Well, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, the thing that we normally do with a TOEFL is when I work with a student on TOEFL, we normally focus on writing, speaking. Okay, because
Yes.
writing and speaking is the production side of language. Reading, it's there in front of you. Listening, it's there in front of you. You're listening, you're reading, and you've got it all there. So that's something that you can practice and you can assess. Speaking and writing, well, that's something that needs work. And the more you can write, the better you understand some of the reading as well and some of the
Yes.
things you listen to. So yeah, I normally
And
use well, let me show you we've got a couple of minutes. I'll just quickly show you one of my TOEFL students, just so you get an idea of how we do this. Let me just bring it
And the
over to the
writing is
guide.
just the skill that I use the less. I practice speaking here in Cambly, reading in the newspaper, something like that. But writing
Mm,
is the last one, is
mm,
the thing that I don't use every day.
mm. Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
I almost never do.
never. Right. And this is the thing, in both TOEFL and IELTS, normally the writing comes out as the lowest score. Okay, with both exams, because exactly like you say, we can listen to things in English easily, we can speak things in English easily. um, do we write? The answer is no, we don't. And if we do write, how good is our writing?
Yes.
If I just show you one of my current TOEFL students, so what we do is we set up a document in Google Drive, share it, and then what you do is you just have these questions, and then we just use the Google Docs editor, which is excellent. Um, and we go through
Very
and we just make
interesting.
some notes. So, and you can see my corrections. Anything I've corrected has been ruled out, and I've replaced a word. And you can also click on it and it will highlight the correction over on the right hand side saying that Kevin made a change, replacing movies and television with them, so that we remove that repeat. Um,
I never
and
seen teacher
yeah,
doing like that, something like that.
okay, okay, okay. Well,
You're the
Google Docs is great. It's easy to share. It's totally free. There's no files to remember sending backwards and forwards, and we both go into the document at the same time. So I'm here on this side and you appear on this side as an anonymous user. So, and then you can go off and work on it on your own. And then I open it in the class and we work on these things together. So if it's something you want to look at, that's definitely something we can do. All right.
okay. I will schedule another class. We will start with the
Perfect.
TOEFL, then we will go to
Yeah.
IELTS. Thank you
Yeah.
so
As you
much.
like. As you like. Take care. See you next time, Jefferson.